Have you ever encountered someone who seemed to think the world revolved around them? Someone who always made everything about themselves, who manipulated and controlled situations to serve their own interests, and who believed they were entitled to special treatment. You might have been dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists have a remarkable ability to get under your skin, and if you found yourself caught in their web, you know just how draining, frustrating, and toxic these individuals can be. They thrive on attention, validation, and control, and they don't take kindly to anyone who dares challenge their inflated sense of self-importance. But here's the catch: there is one sentence that, when said at the right moment, will make a narcissist think twice before ever messing with you again. Before we dive into this life-changing sentence, let's first explore why narcissists act the way they do, what makes them tick, and why it's so difficult to deal with them. Understanding the psychology behind their behavior is key to developing the confidence and mindset necessary to put them in their place. Narcissists are individuals who exhibit traits of narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. While everyone can exhibit some narcissistic traits from time to time, people with NPD have a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a lack of empathy, and a constant need for admiration. They often manipulate others to maintain their self-image, which is fragile at the core. While they may appear confident and self-assured on the surface, their sense of self is built on external validation and approval. Their need for control and dominance over others is often rooted in deep-seated insecurity. One of the most frustrating aspects of interacting with a narcissist is their inability to see things from anyone else's perspective. They lack empathy, which means they don't understand or care about how their actions impact others. Instead, they focus solely on themselves, their needs, and their desires. This often leads to toxic, one-sided relationships where the narcissist takes but never gives. So, what do you do when you're caught in the web of a narcissist's manipulation? How can you assert yourself and regain control of the situation without falling prey to their tactics? Key is setting boundaries, staying calm, and being direct. When it comes to dealing with narcissists, you don't need to resort to drama or confrontation. In fact, doing so will only feed their need for attention and validation. Instead, you need to take a different approach, one that makes it clear that you will not tolerate their behavior and that you are no longer willing to play their game. The sentence that will make a narcissist never mess with you again is simple but powerful. I don't engage with people who disrespect me. It may sound like a simple statement, but when said confidently and without hesitation, it packs a punch. Narcissists thrive on control and manipulation, and they believe that they can push others around to get what they want. But when you stand your ground and make it clear that you won't tolerate their disrespectful behavior, you take away their power. You establish that you have boundaries that are non-negotiable, and you're not afraid to enforce them. This sentence does two key things. First, it communicates your refusal to engage in toxic behavior. Narcissists often provoke others, hoping to get a reaction. When you calmly state that you won't engage with people who disrespect you, you make it clear that they won't get the satisfaction they're looking for. This diffuses the situation and prevents them from escalating it further. Second, this sentence puts the narcissist on notice. Lets them know that you are not someone who can be easily manipulated or controlled. Narcissists thrive on weak boundaries and a lack of resistance, so when they encounter someone who stands firm, it confuses and frustrates them. They can't easily maneuver you into a position where they can dominate the conversation or situation. When you set this boundary, you make it clear that you are in control. Now, here's where things get interesting. Narcissists are known for their ability to test limits and push boundaries. They may try to disregard your statement, test your resolve, or even try to make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. But here's the thing: by remaining calm and consistent, you show them that you're not someone they can easily manipulate. This, in turn, forces them to reassess their approach and, in many cases, back off. power of this one sentence lies in its simplicity. Narcissists often rely on complicated games of manipulation and control, but when you cut through all the noise and state your boundaries clearly, they are left with little to work with. There's no room for ambiguity or confusion. You're not asking for their respect. You're simply telling them that you're not going to tolerate being disrespected. It's a straightforward, no-nonsense approach that takes the wind out of their sails. But what happens when a narcissist doesn't respect your boundaries? What if they try to push back or get angry? It's important to remember that narcissists are masters of deflection. They will often try to make you feel like you're the problem or that you're overreacting. They may use guilt, manipulation, or even rage to try to get you to back down. Key here is to stay firm. Don't engage in their emotional manipulation. Stand your ground, repeat your boundaries if necessary, and walk away if the situation becomes too toxic. At the end of the day, narcissists thrive on control, but they also fear losing that control. When you demonstrate that you're not someone they can manipulate or disrespect, you strip away their power. They may try to test you again in the future, but with time they will learn that you're not someone who can be easily intimidated or controlled. Dealing with a narcissist can be an incredibly draining and difficult experience, but the key to overcoming their tactics lies within your own sense of self-worth. The real power in these situations is found in your ability to stand firm, no matter how hard the narcissist tries to chip away at your confidence. When you refuse to let them undermine you, you're not only protecting your own mental and emotional well-being, but you're also sending a clear message: you are not a target for manipulation or control. Setting and maintaining boundaries is crucial in these encounters. Narcissists will often test your limits, pushing your patience and challenging your tolerance. But when you hold firm in your boundaries, it demonstrates to them that their behavior is unacceptable. More importantly, it reinforces your dignity and self-respect. You are showing them that you will not allow their toxic behavior into your life, and they must treat you with the respect you deserve, or face the consequences. One of the most effective ways to assert your boundaries with a narcissist is by using a simple yet powerful statement: "I don't engage with people who disrespect me." This sentence, though straightforward, is incredibly impactful. Cuts through any manipulative tactics they may try to employ and makes it abundantly clear that you will not tolerate their behavior. It's not an emotional outburst or a drawn-out confrontation, but a concise, resolute declaration that establishes your stance firmly. The narcissist may initially push back or try to gaslight you into doubting your own feelings. However, by repeating this sentence whenever necessary, you are consistently reinforcing your boundaries. Over time, they will begin to realize that you are not someone they can easily control or manipulate. This kind of clarity and directness is often all it takes to regain the power in the relationship and stop the narcissist's toxic influence over you. It's important to remember that this process will not be easy, and there may be times when you feel the weight of the narcissist's attempts to undermine your confidence. But through your consistency and strength, you will begin to shift the power dynamic in your favor. Standing up for yourself is an empowering act, and by using this one sentence, you're taking back control over your own life and well-being. In conclusion, the next time you encounter a narcissist's toxic behavior, remember that you don't have to tolerate it. "I don't engage with people who disrespect me" is more than just a statement. It's a boundary that protects your sense of self-worth. By standing firm and asserting your boundaries, you're reclaiming your power, and in doing so, you are affirming your own self-respect.